Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to welcome you to the 2021 District 22 Table Topics Speech Contest. Our contest master today is not only a veteran District 22 Toastmaster, but was himself the winner of both our international and table topic speech contests in the same year, would you believe, 1996, exactly a quarter of a century ago. Please help me welcome our contest master for today's Table Topics Speech Contest, Rick Chandler.
Madam Contest Chair, Your Highness, thank you for reminding me just how old I am and how many times we've done this. This is the big contest. The 6 contestants today have all gone through, as you know, the area level, the division level, and now they're vying to be the champion for the district. And it's our objective to help them shine as we crown the District 22 Table Topics champion. So to do that, what we'll be doing is hiding all videos except for the timer to ensure that our contestants can see the timer as we spotlight them. Once the contest starts, nobody can enter the room anymore. So please keep your video off. Don't try to change or fix it, and stay on mute so that we can focus on the contestants and let them shine. It's a very straightforward contest. 5 contestants will go out of the room. 1 will stay in. You will hear their name. Once we give them the chance to do a mic check, make sure everything's good one last time. We'll take a brief pause. They'll hear their name, the table topics question, and their name. They will have 30 seconds to get started, and our timers know that they have that 30 seconds. But once they make their first sound or significant movement, the clock starts. They'll get the green light at 1 minute. Madam Timer, can we get a practice on the green light? There you go. Yellow light at 1.5, and the red light at 2 minutes. And the red light will stay on. If they go past 2:30, they're disqualified. If they go under the 1 minute or 45 seconds, 1 minute, they're disqualified as well. Madam Zoom Master, do you have any comments you would like to share with our contestants or the audience? Madam Zoom Master, anything you want to share? I assume that's a no.
I'm good if you are.
Thank you very much, Terry Ann. And our chief judge is Clarice Maceberg. Clarice, do you have any comments do you want to have? Have all the judges been briefed?
Yes, Mr. Contest Master, all the judges and other functionaries have been briefed.
Thank you. So Madam Zoom Master, if you could take our 5 contestants, Brenda Lowe, Nancy Wanzia, Andre Red, David Thorne, and Barb Grenade, and place them in a breakout room with our Sergeant of Arms, I would greatly appreciate it. Great, thank you very much. Juan Pepe, would you please turn on your video and unmute yourself? And Madam Zoom Master, you want to spotlight him? You want to do one last sound check, Juan?
Sure, mic check, mic check.
That sounds good. You're a little light, but that sounds good. Juan Pepe. Good. I'm sorry?
I can speak louder.
Okay, good. Juan Pepe, for you, has there been a silver lining to the COVID cloud? For you, has there been a silver lining to the COVID cloud, Juan Pepe?
All right, well, thank you, Contest Master. First, I'd like to apologize for my background. I'm currently in the Witness Protection Program, and this is what is known as a safe house. So any natural movement or sounds that you may hear are part of the disguise. Plus, for security reasons, I have to keep my answers short between 1 minute and 2 minutes so I can't be located. But is there a silver lining to the COVID cloud? Actually, yes. I stopped working. That has been my silver lining. Since I am very isolating due to suffering PTSD, this is actually true. being an introvert has allowed me not to have to interact with people. Also, I've been able to stay home, sleep in late, watch all the TV I want. I could go to work where I'm just wearing a shirt, no pants. But I would also say the other part of the silver lining is that I actually, when I worked before I stopped working, I ended up making more money than I was due to the layoff than when I was actually physically performing my job. Ironically enough as it is, when they called for me to come back, I didn't want to go back to work because going back to work would mean I was actually making less money and the math just wasn't adding up. So silver lining also, I got to spend more time with my family, especially my children. Over the summer, we did fun things like knife throwing, shooting bow and arrows, and we just overall bonded as a family. So that is the silver lining that I took from COVID. Thank you, Mr. Contest Master.
Thank you. We'll have 1 minute of silence for the judges to prepare their ballots. Brenda, you want to do a quick mic check one more time just to make sure?
Yes, testing 1, 2, 3.
We're good. Brenda Lowe, for you, has there been a silver lining to the COVID cloud? For you, has there been a silver lining to the COVID cloud? Brenda Lowe.
Good morning, and thank you, fellow Toastmasters. There has been a silver lining, and it's not just my hair. The past year has allowed me to be introspective. It's allowed me to evaluate my relationships, the quality of my conversations, even with myself. It's given me time to pull back, assess where I stand in my life, and try to make those minor adjustments that we all need to do. This past year has been like none other, of course. But the silver lining is, for those of us who've looked for it, there has been opportunity. For me particularly, the opportunity has been to adjust my attitude, to give the world better than I've given up to this point, to understand that there is really nothing promised, but there is great potential to continue to do good, to continue to connect for good, and to make each day our very best day. There are no guarantees in life, as I've come to see this past year, but what I've also come to see is that hope keeps us going forward. So I am hopeful. I have become more hopeful. I have released my anxiety and I look to the future and I know that there are good things in store for us. We always have the opportunity, as long as we have breath, to make the world better. So yeah, that's my silver lining for the next year. I hope it's been yours. I look forward to continuing on my path to increase the possibility for my life and to increase the possibility of doing good in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. May we now have 1 minute of silence while the judges prepare their ballots. Madam Timer, is that a minute? Thank you. Nancy, let's do one last sound check just to make sure everything's good.
Hello.
Perfect. Nancy Wanzia, for you, has there been a silver lining to this COVID cloud? For you, has there been a silver lining to this COVID cloud? Nancy Wanzia.
Thank you, Contest Chair. Yes, there has been a silver lining during this time of COVID. Last year, I thought I was going to lose my job because we had a lot of people laid off, but I didn't. My life did not change as much as other people did. I went to work every single day. I missed a couple of days late last year because I had symptoms of COVID. But that made me think twice about having another stream of income. I've always worked at names and numbers for the last 10 years. And I've had some freelance works here and there. But last year, it made me think twice about having another stream of income. And that's where I started creating books, notebooks, on Amazon. It has been a pretty amazing journey, but it opens up my mind to know that I can do different things. I can be a businesswoman. I don't have to rely on one income, but I can have other streams of income, just doing what I love and also being curious of other areas of my life that I can also make money from. So yes, last year I had a moment of enlightenment, knowing that I always can depend on myself to support myself by having other streams of income. Contest chair.
Thank you very much. At this time, can we have 1 minute of silence while the judges prepare their ballots? Andre, you want to turn on your microphone and your camera? Great, thank you. Get you spotlighted there. You want to do a quick sound check, Andre, one last time?
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3.
Perfect, thank you very much. Andre read, for you, has there been a silver lining to the COVID cloud? For you, has there been a silver lining to the COVID cloud? Andre read.
Contest master, Toastmasters, and honored guests, has there been a silver lining to COVID-19, the pandemic? For me, I would say absolutely. Absolutely, because for several reasons. One is that my family, we're all spread out. And so every event, every activity that we get a chance to come together and celebrate, we're taking advantage of it. I've got family in Maryland, I've got family in Mississippi, I've got family in Atlanta. And so every opportunity that we get a chance to get together, we're doing it. Secondly is it really, really has given me a chance to spend more time with me. One of the things I think that we do, especially as we start taking on more roles as parents and spouses and in the job, I think is that we oftentimes lose ourselves in our roles. So it's given me a lot more me time. And the last thing I would say is I have really, really mastered this 6-foot distancing thing. I stay about 6 feet from the refrigerator, and so I can only grab 2 handfuls of chicken legs and mashed potatoes. And so it has given me a whole new appreciation for gifts and skills that I didn't even know I had. So for me, I think the silver lining is just really being able to look at things like time with family, time with yourself, and understanding that every lemon is really designed to become lemonade. Contest master.
Thank you, Andre. Madam Timer, can we have 1 minute of silence for the judges? David, you want to give us one last mic check just to make sure?
Check, check.
Perfect, thank you. David Thorne, for you, has there been a silver lining to the COVID cloud? For you, has there been a silver lining to the COVID cloud? David Thorne.
When I was a kid, I hated the smell of coffee. I didn't understand how could you ruin your taste buds by drinking something that smelled so foul. I couldn't even take a drink myself, not a chance. But I loved preparing the coffee. A little bit of glass that broke too easy. I can remember just trying to get filled up with water and pour it into the back of the coffee maker and shoving it a little bit too quickly, and it would just shatter. Mr. Contest Master, judges, fellow Toastmasters, guests, as a little kid, shattering that part of the coffee maker was a little bit like the feeling of going through the pandemic. You see, there are lots of layers of our lives that we try to work on. For me, I kind of had my own little set of things to work on. David, you got to work on, you got to go to Toastmasters, work on speaking, got to do this, this, this. But the COVID kind of taught me a little bit more. You see, forcing David to look at David in the mirror taught me far more about myself and what I didn't like about myself than ever before. You could say it shattered my vision of myself and allowed me to rebuild what I really needed to be. Throwing and casting aside things like shame or self-accusation, realizing a higher value in just some of the relationships I did have. You know, when you stare at people through a Zoom screen, it's different than looking them in the eye and shaking their warm hand. But at the same time, you can find the sheer joy of what that brings. I love coffee now as an adult. In fact, I start every day with it. I had coffee this morning. And yes, I filled the little container up with water, shoved it in where it was supposed to go, but a little bit slower, a little bit more confident, maybe a little bit wiser. Because while I was able to shatter aside some of my pride and other things that hold me back, the pandemic taught me that we do move forward one step, one cup of coffee at a time. Mr. Contest Master.
Thank you, Mr. Thorne. Madam Timer, at this time, can we have a minute of silence? Thank you, Madam Timer. Barb, you want to do a quick sound check just to make sure?
Yes, I always like to make sure you can hear me.
Yep, perfect. Thank you very much. Barb Grenade, for you, has there been a silver lining to the COVID cloud? For you, has there been a silver lining to the COVID cloud? Barb Grenade.
Mr. Contest Chair, there are always silver linings. You just have to find them. Not only is there one silver lining, I have found 2 or 3. One of them has to do with work. I sit beside a security and fraud department that runs 24/7. On the phones, noise, 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 and I'm accessible to everybody. They seem to think I have all this knowledge, so they come to me. The silver lining, I get to work at home. They can still contact me through Teams and Skype, but I can answer them on my time, and it's a heck of a lot quieter here. The second silver lining has to be with family. My family doesn't live together. We live 500 miles apart. I have a cousin that's in England that just had a baby, and I get to visit them more, believe it or not, because of Zoom. A lot of people are Zoomed out and I am not. I am spending more quality time talking to my kids one-on-one without distractions, catching up with my brothers who have to actually sit down and talk to me instead of that TV that has the latest hockey game on it. My mom waits because every week we talk. And if it wasn't for this pandemic, we probably wouldn't quite talk as much. But losing my father has brought us together in a way we didn't think possible. I get to visit all over the world, and I get to do it.
Thanks, Barb. I think Barb was put on mute there at the end. Madam Chief Judge, I need to understand how you want to handle this.
I would say it's,
Good.
I'm sorry, I would say it's like when a contestant loses connectivity, we would let her resume where we lost her.
Barb, where we lost you was at, and I'm going to say she stayed whenever you had her finished, that's when she'll be done. But Barb, where we lost you is when you talked about your father had passed away and that you were now having, or without your father, and you were having the weekly calls with your mother that you might not have had. So can you finish from there?
And what I had said was, it is about having the connectivity to my family as well as the better situation at work. There are silver linings in any situation. You just have to find them.
Thank you, Barb. Thank you for rolling with the punches. At this time, we'll stay on mute while the chief judge collects all the ballots from the judges. Clarice, would you please let me know when you've received all the ballots?
Yes, I will let you know.
Thank you. Just letting our guests know at this time what the judges are doing is filling out their ballots. They must pick a winner, first, second, or third. They're taking a picture of that ballot and sending it to the judges and the ballot counters where they will tabulate the scores. Once they have all the ballots, we'll go through an interview with our 6 contestants. They will tell us how long they've been in Toastmasters and what club they belong to. I'm going to go ahead and start the interviews, just for the sake of time, and before I go crazy. Juan, Pepe, you want to put yourself off mute and let us see your camera again? Can you tell us how long you've been in Toastmasters and what club you're a member of?
I have been in Toastmasters for a little over a year, and I'm part of the Junction City, Kansas club.
So are you going to tell us why you were put in witness protection, or do we have to go Google that?
If you watch Die Hard 1, 2, and 3, that will tell my story.
Well, thank you. So yippee-ki-yay. So this is your chance to give us a commercial. You know, with the Zoom world, we can all go visit numerous clubs. Give us a commercial for why we should go attend the Junction City Club.
Well, the Junction City Club is full of veterans. If you like watching The Expendables, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and we're one big family, and we get along really, really well.
That is true. Your club has a real family atmosphere that's very, very impressive. I love it. So is it my understanding that Shed and Maz are your in-laws?
Can't confirm or deny. That's a security risk.
If that was true, how painful would that be, knowing that Shed is going to be watching everything you do?
Again, it's not as painful as, like you say, his shiny head at times or his sparkling personality.
Well, thank you, Juan, and good job with the Table Topics contest.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
At this time, we'll move to Ms. Brenda Lowe. Brenda, can you tell us how long you've been in Toastmasters and what club you're a member of?
Yes, I have been a member of Toastmasters for the past year and a half, and I am a member of the Don't Stop Talking Club.
Great. Can you tell us your commercial on why would someone want to go visit the Don't Stop Talking Club when there are so many choices around the world? What makes your club special?
Because we are unique in all the world. And we mean just what we say. We have the opportunity for everybody to talk and grow and make their game better, you know, within Toastmasters. So that's my plug for Don't Stop Talking.
Now, Brenda, I love the fact that you own your beautiful silver hair. You're not trying to change anything. I've got this white hair. How can I get silver hair like you so that I can have that wonderful look too?
Well, it takes a little bit of stardust, Rick. And I'll be happy to share it with you. It comes in packages. I'll be happy to share anytime.
Great, great. Shed and I will both give that a try. Thank you. Very well done with the contest. Nancy Wanzia, can you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hello, Nancy.
Hey.
So could you tell us how long you've been in Toastmasters and what club you're a member of?
Yes, I've been in Toastmasters for 3 years and a member of Gorilla Toastmasters in Pittsburgh.
Gorilla Toastmasters. So give us your commercial on, if I was to go visit Gorilla Toastmasters, why would I, or visit a club, why would I want to visit Gorilla Toastmasters? What makes them so special?
I love my club because no matter how many we are, 2, 3, or even 10, we always make each other laugh and we always have a good time. Every guest who has come to our club has always said, you are a fun group to hang out with for 1 hour. So if you want to have fun, you can come and join us.
Great. Now that's in Pittsburgh, Kansas, correct?
Yes.
So what's the second stream of income you're working on? I'm so excited about this for you. This is interesting.
Yes, I work as a graphic designer, and I started last year creating notebooks and journals on KDP on Amazon. That's something new that I never knew existed, and I came across it last year. So it puts together what I do daily. So it's not like I'm trying to learn something new. I'm just trying to learn the marketing and the business side, but the creative side, I already have that.
So tell us about one of the books you've written. I'm curious about this.
Basically, right now I'm doing lined journals with quotes. I'm trying to feature women of color, people like Oprah and other women people may not know. I feature their quotes, very inspirational and motivational quotes on the lined journal on every page.
Well, can you tell us one of the quotes that means a lot to you?
Oh, one of the quotes is that I love is, maybe I'll paraphrase it, is that I have standards and I'm not going to compromise them for anybody else.
I love that.
Yeah.
I have standards and I won't compromise them for anybody else.
Yeah, even myself.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes. Yeah.
I think I hear us international speech contestant for next year. Thank you, Nancy. That's very well done.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
Mr.
Thank
Andre
you.
Red.
Yes,
Mr. Red, can you tell us what club you're in and how long you've been a member of Toastmasters?
Rick, I'm involved with 2 clubs, actually 3. A Taste of Success Advanced Club, the UFSC, which is the newly chartered club, and then Toastmasters Unlimited.
So now, which one of those 3 should I go visit, Andre, if I was to be looking for a club? And tell us the commercial for one of those 3 clubs.
My goodness, I think if you went and visited either one of the 3, you'd be a lucky man. For you, I would say A Taste of Success would be the ideal one for you, Rick, because it's an advanced club and it's like a B12 shot. You don't have to work as hard and you're not so exhausted from pulling such a heavy load, but you've got a lot of experienced and creative people that are there, and it's really a pretty amazing time when we get together. We meet only once a month.
Great. Now, I haven't gotten a mom and dad update, so how are your parents doing back in Mississippi?
Hey, my mom is, my dad's getting all the benefits because my mom loves to cook and she's making all these homemade meals and biscuits. And my dad is the kind, Rick, where he's 83, but he says COVID can't catch up with him because he's too fast and he's too much for it. So they're doing amazing. Both have gotten their vaccines, and so yeah, they're doing amazing. I think they're even traveling a little bit now.
And you haven't been able to travel back there for a while to try some of that good cooking, have you?
You know what, I haven't, and I've been doing my best to manipulate my mom to putting something in the mail with my best puppy dog face and eyes. Hadn't worked yet, but we're still working on it. We're still working on it.
Well, let me know when you get it. I'll come over. Thank you, Andre, and good job.
Thank you.
David Thorne, can you tell us, you want to unmute yourself? There you are. You want to tell us how long you've been in Toastmasters and what club you're a member of?
Yeah, Rick, I've been in Toastmasters off and on for quite a few years, but kind of back into it for about 2.5 to 3 years. A member of the Semi-Pro Club here in Wichita, Kansas. We aren't as good as Will Ferrell in the Flint Tropics, if you've ever watched the movie, but we do have a lot of fun. And our little commercial is that we understand as a Toastmaster, every one of us can be kind of difficult on ourselves. You know, oh, I did a terrible job. I messed up here, here, here. We do that for you. So we really step in with detailed evaluations, because if you're in semi-pro, you're there because you want to significantly up your game.
So it's a tough club. Can you give us an example of some of the tough love they've given you?
Gosh, I set myself up for that one, didn't I?
Yes,
you know, In semi-pro, we'll evaluate everything. So the I just said a minute ago would have been caught. The grammarian R report sometimes takes 10 minutes to go through, just so everyone gets a chance to see exactly where they messed up and what they can do to polish it. And that's something that you sometimes get at normal clubs, but not always. But I would tell you the biggest thing are the evaluations on speeches. They've told me things before, like, David, you did a run-on sentence. If you were right what you just said, it wouldn't make any sense at all. So guess what? When you said it, it did not make any sense at all.
Great. Now, I'll tell you, David, my first club, Heartland Toastmasters out in Topeka, we actually had a bell. So every time you said or they would ring the bell. They didn't do it for guests, and you didn't do it on your icebreaker, but that bell. So you can take that to semi-pro. If they really want to up their game, that will get rid of the ahs and ums, because that bell will give you nightmares.
We do a little positive version of that. If you say the word of the day, we knock on wood for you.
No, we do the word of the day, knock on wood, too. We got that from Canada as well. So we have lots of movement in our clubs. But if you want to break that negative habit, boom, the stick works pretty well with the bell. But you said you've been in and out of Toastmasters. What brought you back this last time?
I have the opportunity to speak from a lot of groups now, and Toastmasters is the way for me to stay as sharp and polished as possible.
Fantastic. Well, David, we're glad you're back. Good job today. Thank you very, very much. And Barb Grenade, do you want to tell us what club you're representing and how long you've been in Toastmasters?
Well, thank you, Rick. I have been in Toastmasters since 2003. And while I am representing A Taste of Success, I belong to 4 clubs, and one of them, I'm pleased to announce a couple of people from my Pursuers Club in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, are in here today as well.
So how would you compare Toastmasters in Canada versus Toastmasters in the US?
That's a dynamite question. I came from Edmonton. That's where I was trained. And Edmonton has the distinction, when I left, of Toastmaster capita of the world. They had more Toastmasters per capita than any other city in the world. And they also, other than your advanced clubs, they meet weekly. And I found it just advanced your skills, as well as there was so much interaction within the district. I was in Toastmasters 3 months, and I was already going to area council meetings, because area council meetings, all presidents, VP ads, VP memberships, all gathered once a month. So there was much more interaction, but the best thing that we don't do here is the conferences, because the conference would be Friday night all day, Saturday night and Sunday. That was fine, but you know how you got there? You all got on a bus. And at the time we were District 42, and we were known for shutting down the, hospitality suite. What can I say?
So you'll be organizing the hospitality suite for next year. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, if everybody wants to party like we did, let's do it.
Okay, sounds too fun. I do know that when I was visiting when I was in the club in Montreal, the conventions were a big deal, and they did them up. At this time, I'm going to turn control over to Joanne Monroe for any trio announcements, if she'd like to give any trio announcements for the conference.
Hello, thank you, Rick. As far as the conference, after we meet, or after we hear the winners today, we'll be breaking for lunch. But I also want to just turn it over and ask either Dan or Shed to share with us what the dates are for the training for this summer for our club officer training, because I do believe that they have selected those dates, and hopefully can share those with you so you can mark your calendars. Dan or Shed?
Shed, please correct me if I am wrong. I'm trying to do this from memory. I believe the first is on June 30th. And then we have July, is it the 10th and the 27th? And then August 5th?
The correct dates, Dan, yes, 30 June is the first one. Then we have 10 July, 24 July, and 5 August. So we have 4 opportunities, so there is no excuse for any officer to not make training. 2 are during the week and 2 are on the weekend. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trio. It's fantastic. Now we know what's coming up, so everybody mark your calendars now. At this time, I do have the winners. There were no time disqualifications. Our third place winner for the 2021 Table Topics District 22 contest, third place is Brenda Silver Fox Lowe. If you look at Joanne, Joanne is holding up the trophy that we'll be sending out to Brenda Lowe. Second place for the Table Topics contest 2021 District 22 is Mr. David Thorne. David Thorne. Thank you, Joanne. And our District 22 champion for the Table Topics in 2021 is our repeat, Ms. Barb Grenade. Barb Grenade. Congratulations, Barb.
What?
I'd like to thank all of the contestants, all the functionaries. Clarice is our chief judge, our timers. A lot of stuff goes into a contest, and I really want to congratulate our 6 contestants. I've got to see you all grow as I've watched the different contests, and it's truly been impressive. Congratulations to Barb, David, and Brenda, as well as Nancy, Andre, and Juan. You all were fantastic. Thank you very much, and I will turn control back to our contest chair to close us out. Catherine?
Thank you so much, Rick. That was a very exciting contest, everybody. And we will be meeting back again at 4:30 this afternoon for the International Speech Contest. So I'll pass back right now to District Director Joanne Monroe.